I might blow your mind with this one, but stick with me and I promise this is going to make sense. You can run a business. You can make money. Heck, you can make a lot of money in a way that glorifies God, and more than anything, in a way where you never have to sell anything again. Now, I promise I'm not talking crazy here. So give me a few minutes of your time and I promise I will show you how you can do all of this and achieve massive results. All right, let me set the scene of what I'm talking about before I just dive all the way into it. A few months ago, during the holiday season, I went to the grocery store to pick some things up, probably to get something to eat, cook something. And basically, I'm walking inside, and you guys know how the grocery store is, specifically Walmart is, around the holiday season. There are people outside with red hats on, ringing bells, asking to give donations. So basically, what I did, as soon as I saw that, was unconsciously almost, I was walking in the front door and I stopped, walked completely around the front door, and then went in through like this kind of like backdoor gardening section, right? Now, this is not because I don't believe in giving away money. I actually like to think I'm a very generous person and give away sometimes way more than 10% in tithes. But one thing that I did not want is I didn't want to be sold to. I didn't want to feel pressured into doing something, especially something that had a financial obligation. So I actually went the other way around, spent more time and more energy to completely avoid that scenario. Here's the ironic thing. I go into the grocery store and probably spend way more money than I probably should. So it's not that I was scared of spending money. It's not even that I didn't want to buy something or use money. It's more like I did not want to be sold to. And this is what I like to call kitchen table. Watch. This is a very quick and simple understanding story that I can tell you about that you've probably been in. And if you can understand that point, you can understand everything else that I'm about to say. People do not like spending money. They hate feeling pressured. And that is what salespeople do. Salespeople pressure you into it. I mean, think of any car salesman. They make you kind of bait you, hook you, make you say things you don't really mean, and then make you buy things that you don't really need. My main point here is that selling is far from just forcing somebody to pay your invoice. Selling is not about convincing. Selling is about listening. It's about understanding. And it's only about offering help if you are absolutely sure that you are needed in specific solution. And it's only about offering help when you know you can absolutely help somebody solve a problem that they are actively dealing with. And when you truly help someone, sale is just a byproduct. Dave Ramsey kind of calls it that the more value you give to somebody, the more they reward you with green pieces of paper with presidents' faces on it. And I do not think that could be further from the truth. Now let's get a little bit deep and let's hop into the scripture and see specifically what the Bible has to say about it. So I'm going to pull up Proverbs 11 verses 25, and it reads, "A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes will be refreshed." Now, I want you to understand the context of this scripture. This is written by Solomon. This is written by King Solomon. And a lot of you guys know him because he wrote Ecclesiastes. And where I want you to understand about King Solomon is he was extremely wealthy. He, in a lot of books, is noted as the most wealthy man in history. But the Bible describes him as far more than just wealthy in like monetary value. The Bible describes King Solomon as of a man with great wisdom. As in, there were almost no situation where Solomon did not know how to respond in a way where somebody could get over on him or he could not understand what was going on. Solomon was not a person that could ever be easily manipulated. Now, if we take a step deeper into Solomon, Solomon was a man with great military might. At that time, when Solomon was around, if Solomon wanted to conquer a land, if Solomon wanted to go somewhere, if Solomon wanted anything, he not only had the money, he had the power, he had the influence, and he had the status to be able to do so. Solomon would hold like lectures. He would just sit and listen to people talk, and they would listen to him talk, and they would just be wowed by the words that were coming out of his mouth. Some of the greatest and smartest people at that time. Solomon was a man who had everything, and anything he did not have, he could obtain. Now, I want you to understand, this is the guy who's telling us a generous person will prosper. The richest man in the world, in history, especially at that time, is saying whoever refreshes will be refreshed. Now, I want you to understand something. Solomon did not say the one who asks the most will be given to. He did not say the one who sends the most code emails or the one who spends the most money on ads, or the one that makes the best and most amazingest landing page. No, 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 no. The one who is the most generous will prosper. Now, one of my favorite things whenever I find a scripture in the Bible is to find another scripture that supports it, because the Bible does not contradict, it complements. So if I take this even further, I can pull up Luke 6:38. Give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use it, it will be measured to you. Now, this is one of my favorite pieces of text, specifically about selling, because these are the red letters, right? So this is Jesus talking. And when Jesus is talking, notice what he is saying. I mean, like, he's literally saying, if you give without hesitation, you will receive in overflow. What Jesus is saying here that I think sometimes we take and we only apply to tithing or giving money to the church and not every aspect of our life, including business, is that the more that you give, not the more that you sell, the more generous you are, the more that you have something valuable, even if it's just information, and give it away, the more you will be able to prosper. And in my opinion, this is so unbelievably revolutionary because it's Jesus who's saying it. He's almost saying that if you want to make $10,000 a month, then how you do that is very, very simple. Give $20,000 a month worth the value. Give $30,000 a month worth the value. When you want to grow and scale, when your business is struggling, write out where you want to be and find out how can I give double, triple, quadruple, 10 times more value than where I want to be, and watch what happens. And one thing that I know about God is you can never outgive him. So no matter on how much you give, it will be pressed down, it'll be shaken together, and it will be received back onto you. Understand this, Jesus was a really, really good salesman. He was such a good one that years later, people are still following the practices and the product, if you can call Christianity a product, crazy example, that he sold. As in, he never begged anyone to follow him. He just said who he was. Understand there are so many scriptures where we see Jesus listening. We see him understanding, and we see him offering truth. We see him providing value to the people who desperately needed it. And what happened? Well, they were convinced. Now, granted, Jesus wasn't selling anybody anything, at least not anything monetarily. But when we ask ourselves, how can we run our business in a faith-based way? How can we go from forcing people or putting such a strenuous process where somebody feels like they have to do so much to be able to work with us? Well, we just replicate what Jesus did. He didn't sell salvation, he presented it. And he says, hey, if you want this thing, then you can have it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give it to you. And anybody who wants it can have it. I want you to understand something really, really quickly. Jesus could have sold salvation. Jesus could have made salvation a high-ticket product and said anybody who can afford it and can work the rest of their lives to be able to buy it can now access my kingdom of heaven. But he chose not to. He chose to give it away for free. And now, thousands of years later, look at how many people have bought into Jesus's funnel, if we can go with the Jesus being a salesman idea. So your business should work the exact same way. Stop trying to convince people to buy from you. Instead, be so valuable that they feel stupid not buying from you. People pay for certainty. And the clearer you are on how you can help somebody by just showing them and giving it away, the easier it is for you to actually make money. And more than anything, you will never have to sell anything again. So thanks for watching this video so much, guys. My name's Cam, and I hope you enjoyed this Bible breakdown of the business world. These are two worlds that really intersect for me, and I'm just trying something completely different. So thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know down in the comments if this is something that you enjoyed and that you would love to see more of. Until next time, see you in the next one. Peace.